Today, I'm gonna be doing a probably 10 to 12 hour smoke. I'm doing some on the barbecue smoker. Not like cigarettes or whatever. So it's gonna be some pork ribs, and then we're also gonna do some more chicken. I'm gonna bring you guys along. Just filled up with the old fuel, and we got a lot of people. It's bustling in this little town, so filled up with fuel, and I'm gonna head over to Shediac. You see that? That's me. I mean, kind of. It's minus 19 degrees this morning, which is minus 3 Fahrenheit. This is not sponsored whatsoever, but I love the Canadian Tire app. I need to go in and get a file for my axe that I got, so I can make sure that the nicks are filed out of it. But I can just go onto the app, and before I go into the store, I can see that there's 4 in stock in aisle 22. So that's where I'm headed. Just stopping at the old bistro so I can get some supplies. I gotta grab like dish soap and a couple things. Like at the Neptune, it's not like open right now, so they don't keep stuff there. I gotta get into the dungeon here. Ugh. Top secret door code coming in. You can't see it. Oh yeah. Alrighty, so we made it, and it's been plowed, but there's still lots of snow in around the front door and smoking area. So our smoke, like the barbecue smoker. So I'm gonna shovel that out at some point. I know that I'm wearing this like high-vis jacket. It's just because I used to work at Kent, and it's a hardware store, so I had some pretty good winter gear, and obviously, you know, you don't, like, you keep it when you don't work there anymore. So I still have it, and it's kind of nice. It keeps me pretty warm. So all right, a little concerning, kind of, not really. There are some animal tracks here. I don't know what animal it is. It looks small, like coyote or dog or something. You can see them all around here. And then it looks like that he jumped from here to there and got out of here. So if I can remember the code. Oh yeah. Perfect. Lights on. Nobody's home. Getting the fire going is gonna be super easy because I chopped all this kindling and I got some cardboard set up, so it's gonna be perfect. Obviously I have boots on. I'm not doing this because I can't walk through the snow. The less snow that I get on my boots, the less snow I'm tracking inside. So that's kind of the point. A little frozen. I'm gonna attempt to start the fire just using 1 piece of cardboard, 3 sticks of kindling, and 1 small log. So I'm hoping I can get it started just using that. I'm gonna break this up a little bit. This is perfect for what I'm trying to do. Right now I'm just roughing up the edge with the hatchet. It's gonna help it to catch quicker, creates more surface area. That's pretty good. And I'm gonna take this stuff, getting some small pieces of wood here off of this piece. Let's go ahead and light this, see what we can do. Try and light it in a couple spots. All right, that small stuff caught pretty good. Just slowly trying to build onto it with some smaller stuff. The cardboard underneath is also slowly catching. Just gonna help it go along further. This guy I need to break up a little bit. It's good. There's actually not a lot of wind right now. This type of fire build, you'd probably call it a log cabin, sort of. We got a lot of flame there, so I'm gonna try and put another log. All right, I'm gonna grab some bigger stuff. This stuff's been sitting outside, so I'm going to put these inside on the very sides so they can start to dry. You guys want to hear like the worst sound ever? Listen to this. Oh, it didn't do it. Okay, whoops, never mind. Hold on. There we go. It's pretty rough. I gotta take this water pan and get that filled up with water, so I will be back. I got the water pan. Here we go. Gonna grab another log that was sitting outside here, and I'm gonna try and add some on top of this fire. And now that these logs have had a minute to try and maybe dry out a bit, move them closer to the center, I'll show you a little trick with a hatchet. It's not like a knife where you want to put your knuckles right there, but you also don't want to hold it and then hit, because you might miss your log. So what you can do is you can move your hand away right away, so you can go like that, but then as soon as you lift your hand away, it can move. So I'll show you a trick that I learned from my dad. Is what you do is you can put the hatchet on the log like this, right where you want your cut to be. Hold the log, bring it up, and then bang the log down like that. And you can see the hatchet's slowly going through, but you're also not risking hitting your hand. And you just kind of let go of the log every time it hits the ground, because there's quite a bit of impact, right? So like that. And now you can just swing it like a hammer, and you'll break it up. There you go. I'd say that was so far mission success. The fire is going, and I'm just gonna keep building on it, and it'll probably be, yeah, we gotta burn it down till it's like embers, basically. I want to show you guys the logs that we just put in on the edges. You can see moisture coming out of them. It's probably very hot for the camera, but So yeah, that moisture, like that's gonna create a lot of smoke, and it's not what we want for cooking. You can see now too that the heat's starting to go through and actually thaw out the ice that's on here. Because it's so cold, you can see right along the bottom of the door here, we've got smoke escaping on all of them. Not as much on this one, but a lot here and a lot here. So what that tells me is that when they built this, there's enough of a crack between the barrel and the doors that heat can escape through it. Because with the smoke coming out of there, we can see that there's obviously airflow coming out of there. So that's a good fire. The reason I'm not using the dry logs from inside is because those, I want to keep those for strictly starting the fire, not actually keeping the fire going. So these guys I'm going to put on the side, start drying out. I did have a big fire stick here last time, but I don't know where it went. You can see how much smoke there is and how unclean this is burning right now. So we definitely don't want to even think about putting any meat in it yet. For anyone that's curious what kind of wood I'm working with, I've got a moisture meter. Place it on wood and it'll tell you. So this is reading about 13% moisture. Got 12% over there. Another 12% there. We got a 7%. There is snow on it, which might impact the reading. I got a 12% there. So from what I've read, normally with wood for smoking, you want it to be between 15 to 20% moisture. It also depends on how much flavor you want, what type of wood you're using, like the smoker, the environment, like it's all variable. Now that it's actually burning, I don't really need to be particular about how the logs are set, because we've got a lot of oxygen and a lot of heat already, so can pretty much just pile on logs wherever. You remember when I went to Canadian Tire? Well, I got this file and it's an axe file. It looks like it has 2 different grits, and it's because my hatchet and my axe, I hit the ground a couple of times because I don't have a chopping block. It's actually working pretty good. Normally I think what you want to do while your fire is burning is to prepare your meat. So you season it, pat it dry, trim it, whatever you need to do. I already did the ribs last night because the bistro was slower, so I had some time to come over here. I'll put a couple of clips of that, but it was really just trimming parts of the pork ribs off, any excess fat, and then also removing the membrane on the back. So I did all that. I dry brined it, which I seasoned with salt and pepper, put it in the fridge overnight. It's been in there probably about 10 hours now. All right, time to wrap these guys up with aluminum foil and put them in the fridge till the fire's ready. It's starting to warm up outside. It's actually only minus 15 now, but it looks like we got a really good fire going here. I guess it's like stoking the fire, keeping it hot, keeping it going. The smoke that's coming out of it isn't clean yet. It's still white, and normally, like, that's you know, it's gonna be okay if you do that, but if you want if you don't want to risk the smoky flavor being way too much, from what I've read, you want to make sure that the fire is burning clean. It's thumbnail time. Let's go here. Oh. I tried to exaggerate a little bit, but like before the sun was up, man, like it was so cold. It's kind of crazy. Like, I've seen people, they'll take lighter fluid or gasoline and just douse their logs in it, or like they'll take fire starters, like little bricks and stuff. It's like, man, you don't need that stuff. In a way, maybe it makes it easier or more efficient, but in my opinion, as somebody who's been like making fires, growing up we had a wood fire furnace that we used to heat the house. So every morning during the winter, I'd be down here or down in the basement chucking logs on the fire. And if my dad was away for work, I was the oldest son, and I was in Boy Scouts, so it was kind of my responsibility to wake up at the crack of dawn and get the house heated for the rest of the family. So super grateful for that experience that I can now bring to my job later on. It just goes to show, man, like teaching your kids like fire building skills, you never know when that stuff's gonna come in handy. We're up at 275 on these guys. The probes are also only that thick, so they're only really sticking through, you know, like, you know, 2.5, 3 inches. So it's not a super accurate reading for the temperature on the very inside of the smoker. So I have a wireless thermometer. I'm gonna stick it in probably the ribs, and yeah, I'll put it in one that's like right close to the middle, and hopefully it'll give me an idea of how hot it's running. So I've got a really nice coal bed now. The smoke coming through the stack is non-existent, like you just about can't see it. I'm gonna bring the meat out, throw it on, and then throw like maybe 1 or 2 more logs in. But yeah, you can see if we go look at the stack, can see a little bit leaking out of the halfway point. But yeah, I mean, it's blending in with the sky, which is what we want. All of our temps here are like back down to 250. So what I'll probably do is throw the wood on now and then go grab my meat. Well, the pork ribs, not my meat. You know what I mean. Get your head out of the gutter. I know people are gonna make fun of me, but I have swim goggles on right now. It's silly, but I'll tell you why. It's like when you've got the door open for that long and I'm reaching in, it's inevitable you get smoke in your eyes. And I know there's a lot of people that say, oh, well, just get used to it, man. You got soft eyes. But like, honestly, the main problem is that when you get the creosote in your eyes like that and they start to hurt, I can't see anything. Anyway, I get it. I'm a little baby, whatever. Right now, I'm grabbing our apple cider vinegar and apple juice mix because I'm gonna spritz them. All right, so ribs are in and I got no smoke in my eyes, so I was able to complete the task efficiently. I know, I look stupid. Whatever, guys. But dude, if you can go to like Walmart or wherever and pay like 15 bucks, 12 bucks for a little pair of goggles that creates an airtight seal around your eyes, like, I don't know, man. Whatever. I'm self-employed, right? I have my own business, so I can write those goggles off as a business expense. Time for the chicken. Right now, we can see the ambient temperature on my probe here is reading 149 degrees Fahrenheit. You can't see it, but the display is really dark with the sun and everything. Thermometers here, the pork is in behind here, and we're reading 230. I mean, it's like 70, could be about 70, 80 degrees of difference. I'm just gonna very, very slowly move these around, trying not to disturb it too much because I don't want anything flying up into the meat. But the other thing to remember is I have that water pan in there, which as it steams, it's going to more evenly distribute the heat across the entire barrel. But also that water vapor is gonna hopefully weigh down some of the ash and soot particles and prevent it from actually getting in the food. So one of the comments that I just saw here was from somebody, but anyway, he said, "So you claim to be a chef, yet the universe has answered you pretty clearly. For anyone who's naive in the industry, going from a line cook to washing dishes is what happens when you have zero cooking skills. I witnessed this once in my life." Okay, so you've seen this once in your life. "A cook I was working with made so many mistakes that the chef threw him off the line and put him on dishes. No chef goes from line cook to cleaning dishes. It just doesn't happen. To believe it's common occurrence is beyond ignorant of the job. Chefs climb up the ladder or climb up in a linear fashion. They don't go back down further than they originally began." Normally, yeah, traditionally, yeah, but not everybody's situation is the same. And I kind of replied to his comment saying that, but most of the people watching, if you've made it this far in the video, you already know why I'm here and what I'm doing. But Shediac sees hundreds of thousands of tourists come during the summer. There's beaches here. We're right on the East Coast. It's beautiful. There's a lot of seafood. It's the lobster capital of the world. Not in the winter. In the winter, the city is 17,000, or the town of Shediac is like 17,000 people. It's a small town and not a lot goes on. And so right now, all they had available was using the smoker during the winter once every 2 weeks, maybe, right? That's how often we're using it. So for me, once every 2 weeks as a pitmaster, that's not really a job, you know what I mean? During the summer, it's gonna be full-time, like 4 or 5 days a week, using this thing every day. But right now it's not. And so what they could offer me was like, hey, in the off season, in the time that you're not doing this, why don't you help the guys out washing dishes, right? Because the people there are cooks. They've been there for 4 years, 2 years, you know, whatever. They've longer tenure there, right? So they've been there longer and they get first priority when it comes to what they do, and that's cooking. And so I've been on the line, man. I've made wraps, I've cooked chicken, I've prepped sandwiches, I've made salads, I've plated soups, like I've done all this stuff, but like it's slow. It's not that I don't have the skills to cook, It's that there's literally no cooking for me to do. So normally, if you're a chef in the industry and you go to accept a new position, you're gonna want a position that requires you to cook. But for me, I am not the typical person in the industry. The majority of my income is through making content, right? So that's my main priority. But I also want to become a chef and I want to learn food, and that's what I'm doing. I'm reading an internal temperature on the probe. So we've got the ribs are up to 119 degrees and the ambient temperature in the oven or the smoker is 163 Fahrenheit. This little probe here is saying it's around 230. You can see how efficiently the wood is drying out here. Got 124 for the ribs and 174 Fahrenheit for the ambient temperature in there. I'm starting to get hungry, and I thought it'd be really funny if I called and ordered a pizza and just had him deliver it. Like just like drive up here and he'd just see me sitting here like by the fire. I just think that'd be so funny. Always keep one in the bag. I have it's not really a protein bar, but it's got 12 grams of protein. But what it is really good at is having like clean, organic, like whole ingredients. So it's made from 3 egg whites, 6 almonds, 4 cashews, and 2 dates. That's it. I'll just show you how much heat is coming from right here. You can see the log that I have drying out is just, the moisture is completely evaporating out of it. I got smoke in my eyes. But yeah, like if I flip this over, you can see the log is it's a little crispy. An extra piece. Just a little guy. All right. Obviously, you know, I'm a trained professional. I don't know if I caught it on video or not. I hope so. Oh, he's gone, dude. There was a little bird. He like flew down and he tried to land on the top of these. And I think he realized how hot they were. So he like quickly landed and then flew off and landed and jumped, and it was funny. I'm currently just sitting on a bucket in the washroom because this area has a heater. So I'm just trying to edit a video so I can post something for you guys. But my hands keep getting too cold to like tap stuff. So at night when the sun goes down, it gets really dark here. And the last time I was here, I just was using my headlamp, but there is an exterior outlet over there, and I'm trying to plug in the lights because we've got this, you know, beautiful arrangement of lights. So didn't work. No lights. Right, panel B. Number 1 says outside plug, and it's currently, the breaker's switched on. Woo! Looking good. And we will have lost probably about 10-15 degrees of heat there. Alrighty. Guy's here, he's gonna take a look at the lights. I know it's pretty nerdy, but I have a thermal vision gun, whatever. A lot of heat right there. We're at 162 for the pork ribs and 203 degrees inside. I know people are gonna make fun of me. I wanted to try this out. Now I'm gonna be 95% protected from inhaling the smoke. Still a good bit. So we just lost a lot of heat by keeping the doors open, I imagine. So maybe I should get a thumbnail for the video while I'm wearing this. We're cooking now. Temperature inside the barrel is now up to 210 degrees. Yeah, keeping the doors open, like, it's pretty much the only way to get enough heat. And the smoke coming out of the top of the chimney, it's not bad. Like, it's really not bad. It's not as clear as I'd like, but you also have to keep in mind, you know, it's a frozen wasteland out here, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cooking in the middle of winter. See some of the size difference I'm working with here? So this one's got to be cut up a bit. Okay. Gotta be careful for that. You're a naughty little piece of wood. Look at that. It's supposed to snow until like 12 a.m. so I don't know if you can hear me, but you're on the other side of the window. Sorry, maybe this is a little bit better. I was just checking to see if you could hear me, but also I want to write this off as a business expense, so this part of the video is for my accountant. The time has come to get the chickens. I can't see anything, man. Ugh, there's so much smoke. Okay, I will be back for you. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap the pork guys in some foil. From what I understand, wrapping it in foil like that will hopefully help radiate heat inwards, keep some moisture in, but also I can add some more logs onto the fire and not have to worry about any soot or whatever landing on top because they're wrapped up. So yeah, a couple things that I've learned is, like, with this smoker, it needs to have a huge fire, like huge coal bed. Like right now, it's very large and there's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of wood, a lot of heat, but it's also because everything in there is now wrapped. I've never cooked on this before, aside from the chicken, which I did once, which again, I'm not entirely sure if it's done the best way possible. And like, I think what's important is like taking the food out, trying it. Does it taste good? I've done it. I've cooked my first successful batch of ribs, or like first First batch on the smoker. Man, juicy. Here's the one that I took a piece off of earlier. Take the same one that we got earlier here, and I'll do this end piece, save the larger bit for a customer. Okay, good little cross section. The fruits of the labor. I had to try it for research purposes. Like, that way I know the customer is getting good quality product. It kind of tastes like pork. I gotta start cleaning up. And yeah. No, the fire. Ah, it's so sad. But it was time. All right. I've got a grill brush. I sure hope there's no grills hiding around here that need to be cleaned. Screams and grill. Ah! And I gotta clean some of the dishes. And then I'm gonna have to unplug the lights and it's gonna be dark again. And I'm gonna be sad. There's no way that's gonna come off right now. I need like those, the hand soap the mechanics have that like has like the little balls in it. All shut down for the night. Nobody's breaking in. I'm gonna go drop off the cleaning supplies back at the bistro and then head home. Thank you guys for watching a random day in the life. I'll see you next time, maybe.